And we got. Oh, there we go.
Hello and welcome to the 10 o'clock news with the EV Café. You have made my Friday already. This is the only show brave enough to serve charged up transport opinions with your morning cuppa. I'm your host, John Curtis, and this is where we all dish up the juiciest sustainable transport stories. Faster than a Tesla on ludicrous mode, dropped out of a helicopter into a snake pit in the Grand Canyon. I know, there's an image. This week, the EV Café crew is Pablo Paul Kirby. Hello, my friend, are you well?
Hello. I am well.
Now, we have got Sarah, who's coming in and out from a chairlift in France. She's awfully fancy, that one. So, there's Paul, there's Sarah, and there's my overly enthusiastic coffee machine, and we are tackling everything. Bit buzzing this morning, got my cuppa. We're going to talk about Stellantis playing recycling heroes and every story under the sun, including Verizon vans finally hitting the UK roads. Plus, we'll ask the question, is Elon Musk's Twitter habit tanking Tesla sales in Europe? Grab your beverage of choice, plug in, and let's get charged up. But first, our new feature where we highlight innovation and new things in our industry. It's the EV Café Commercial Clap. But who cares? First, we'll talk about Joule and the Power Up battery. The battery specialist company said that their new Power Up battery buffer charger can be dropped into commercial fleet depots and locations within 48 hours of ordering. For sites that are power constrained, the battery buffer charger can store up energy from the grid during low demand periods and then release it at up to 120 kilowatts when needed. Oosh! That's pretty cool. I love that one.
Yeah.
Altilium successfully are recycling EV batteries. And now Altilium are down in Cornwall and they're recovering over 97% of the lithium and 99% of the graphite from EV batteries. So for anybody who says, oh, well, that precious resource gets wasted, it can only go into a battery once, utter garbage, it can be recycled and reused. Brilliant work from Altilium. The Renault Group are sharing this brilliant innovation, the battery fire prevention system. And you'll see at the back there, it's labelled Fireman's Access. And apparently what happens is, if there is a battery fire in that really unlikely event, there's a flap at the back, and if you put a high pressure hose, and it has to be high pressure from a fire brigade, if you whack that flap, it opens, all the water goes into the battery before it gets hypercharged and really going at thousands of degrees centigrade and puts the fire out. It's genius. Love that. Before it gets all roasty toasty. And finally, Ionetic have revealed a smart battery pilot facility. They were founded in 2022 and they're leading innovators in EV battery pack technology for low volume OEMs. And they've just opened a new £5 million battery pack production facility in Brackley. Congratulations to you guys. Well done for all the innovation. And that was this week's Commercial Clap. Now then, are we liking the commercial?
John, we don't get to talk about this one. It's a shame. I do love my friends at Joule, and they're doing a great job. Anyway, there we go. And that was the picture that we missed earlier.
Paul,
imagine that.
Shall we talk about the commercial clap? How about that? Let's talk about it. What did you like? What were the highlights?
Oh, and well, I think Joule were one of the highlights for me. Funnily enough. I love what Phil Clark and the team are doing there, and it really helps. Like power constrained sites, just get going on the electric journey. And the speed of which that can be deployed is so much better than having to wait for grid connections and charging deployment and all of those other good things. So it just means that you can sort of buy that once and move it to the sites as you go around. And I love also the recycling of the battery thing. You know, Ultrium,
Yeah.
that company.
Altrim.
Altrillium. There you go. A great news story. You know, increasing all of the time the recyclability of batteries. It's just great news. And there's a lot of other good stuff in there as well, but those are the ones that I remember.
Well, thank you kindly. And what's interesting is I'd just like to pick up Russ Morgan, 1004, who said, I'm loving the innovation segment. I think Jim Blair said much the same. So it's really good to know. Are you enjoying that commercial clap? We love a bit of clap because, do you know what? There's too much negativity in the world and you have just got to applaud the good things, the investment, the hard work, the innovation, and we're calling it out right here. It might be new. It might be in development. We don't care. We're moving forward.
Yes.
It's all good stuff. Let us know in the comments if you're liking the commercial clap. Somebody told me off for saying whack the flaps. I don't know what they're talking about. That was the Renault fire prevention system. Anyway, tough luck. It's our new show for you. So let's move on. And Sarah, you're back. Are you well? Sarah's not back. She lied. She appeared, but she has
She's
nothing
on
to
mute.
say.
Hang on, let's take her off mute. You're off.
No, let's not.
Can't unmute. They choose to mute themselves.
I can.
Oh, wow. Oh, there you go.
I did not
There she is.
choose to mute myself. Yeah, I'm very happy to be listening in. I've been on a chairlift at 2,700 meters and I'm gliding down a blue very gracefully. So if it gets too loud, producer Joe, put me on mute. Hello, everyone.
A blue run. That's impressive. You know, green runs for me all the way. Paul will be a black run sort of boy, but he'll do it in a
I'm
van.
a toboggan. I'm a toboggan sort of run.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Take a Toyota Pro Ace down a toboggan track. Yeah, we know. Bobsled. That's it. Right, anyway. Have you ever leased a car and wondered where it goes after you return it? Does it just get sold on? Well, it doesn't get whisked away to a tropical island for a well-deserved break. No, not at all. Stellantis and Avons they sound like a superhero. Sustainable Motability Partnership? No? Okay. Right, well anyway, they've teamed up to give these ex-lease vehicles a second life. They're basically giving cars a spa day and a makeover at a circular economy hub in Turin. So it's a bit of a pimp my ride, but for eco-conscious drivers, because then you can lease them as a used vehicle. But they're coming back with real quality put back into the vehicle. So all of the parts, everything that needs to be changed can be changed. So essentially, you're getting a pretty well brand new vehicle for used vehicle money. It's reconditioning and releasing. We love it. It's going to grow in popularity, Paul, isn't it? This kind of thing where manufacturers are now getting involved in the remarketing of vehicles.
Yeah, absolutely. This is absolutely what the market really needs. The market has been suffering really from the vagaries of the residual value market and the used car pricing and van pricing as well. And I'm hoping, you know, given that it is Stellantis and they're very much focused on their van proposition as well, I'm hopeful that vans will come into this. But maintaining the control over the value of those vehicles and also then presenting really good value vehicles into the used vehicle market with the idea of leasing, which is growing in popularity, of course, because of the concerns around the residual value of batteries and things like that, or battery electric vehicles. So this is a really good idea, and you know, the kind of reman, reuse, repair, recycle is just spot on, and I hope that it will smooth the transition as time goes by without the volatility of the used market.
It's also very interesting to hear an OEM talking about the circular economy, and if Sarah, you are there and you can comment on this. Circular economy where, of course, everything from the design right through to the disposal is planned and managed. Are you there, my friend? Now, she's gone. Anyway, really, really good to see an OEM doing that sort of thing and thinking around that whole sustainability piece.
But that's the important piece, John, because tenders that are coming out in commercial operations are much more focused on that reducing the carbon footprint of what we do, and by maximizing the life of vehicles. And of course we expect that electric vehicles will have a longer life because there's less to go wrong in them. And there's only the concern around the batteries, and we know from other news that we've covered that that's dramatically lower than we were seeing. This is a great idea to prolong the life and also reduce the carbon footprint of each vehicle. It's great.
Absolutely. Right. Should we do some shout-outs? Should we say... Should we send some love to our people? Good morning to... Economy Trucks, 8:45 this morning. He was on the YouTube. Good morning and happy Friday. Yeah, good morning to you. EV Musings, Gary Cummingford. Can I just say, Gary, your podcast is absolutely smashing it on YouTube. It's one of the fastest growing podcasts we've ever had. If you haven't heard it, go have a look. The EV Café on YouTube, on our website, evcafe.org. Gary, he gave a real insight into his life, not only as an EV person, but as an actor, darling. And he may have even been in a place far, far away. Daryl Sharp, good morning. He was distracted as Octopus Energy have just dropped off a thermal imaging camera. Listen, Daryl, how hot are we? Oh, okay, please yourself. Matthew Ling, he was here at 9:54. Never been this early. The room looks a bit empty. Do you know what? This going into the office thing, that's interesting as well. All that commuting backwards and forwards to go and sit in an empty office to do the things that you could do at home via Teams and Zoom and all that stuff, and listen to the EV Cafe news. Why would you do such a silly thing? Anyway, Mark Elliott, good morning, my friend. Mark Cornwall, he's still in Cornwall. David Cornish, how is this happening? The West Country takeover. Russ Morgan, good morning, EV Humans. Good morning, Ron Godfrey. Good Funner Friday. You betcha. And he's in the house. It's Mr. DEV. Dev Chakravarti. Belinda Guy, I need to talk to you, Belinda Guy. Lovely to see you here. Paul O'Brien, good morning, my friend Leo Pickford. You've been busy this week. Thank you kindly. Toby Hiles, bit late. Apologies, but lovely to be here. Do you know what? I'm feeling benevolent. You feeling forgiving, Paul?
I think we'll be forgiving today.
Okay, just this once. Don't do it again. Sarah Kennell. This is the 4th time in a row Sarah Kennell has made the show. I think that's a new record. Let's go and find out. Ashley Bannister. Good morning, everybody. Old Two Mugs. He's in the house. Toby Hiles. He was the one who worried about me saying whack that flap. He thought it was before the 9 p.m. watershed. Anyway, behave yourself. Children don't watch. Only people with young minds. Mark Main. Good morning. He's had technical gremlins. Oh, nasty. What have you missed? Everything but nothing. Let's move on. Michael Barton. A toboggan down a black run. Now, there's a thought. Should we do it? Let's see in the comments. Are the chairlifts electrically powered? Oh, yeah, nobody paid to see that, would they, mate? Chairlifts electrically powered? I believe they are, Toby, but we will find out. I've never heard on the slopes a diesel generator, but who knows? Sarah, if she comes back, she might be able to tell us. Tom Middleditch, he made it on time. JC will be so proud of me. Listen, my friend, that comment was made at 11 minutes past 10. You're fooling exactly. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. You stayed in bed with your feet up, just playing with your hair. Behave it. Now then, who else we got? Liz Allen. She completely agrees with me. Why are companies forcing their staff back into the office again? Do you know what? I really don't understand it. I know that some town centres are dying a bit, but when you've got the cost of a desk and a building and all that stuff, when some people, not everybody's fortunate enough to be able to do it, but some people can continue to work from home, does it just smack of poor management, Paul?
Well, I just wanted to just make sure, not on the subject of poor management, of course, but did we get Stuart Humphrey and did we get Ash Bannister? Because I think we might just have missed them. We got Ash because I referred to Two Mugs. Stuart has just come through, and so I've just seen that. Morning all. What have you done today? What have you done today to make you feel proud? You're right, Stuart. That is a darn good question. Today so far,
I have tried to write the best script ever, failed massively. Trying a new coffee, that makes me feel proud, but frankly, it's not so nice. What about you, Paul? What have you been doing to make you feel proud?
I've been talking to a lot of people today, this week, and actually the
Surprise.
CV show. The CV show is very exciting. There's lots of people queuing up to be a part of the CV show, and we're getting very close. Genuinely, this is not sales talk. We are genuinely getting very close to being completely sold out. It's very exciting. And we've got a really wonderful mix of renewable energy and charge cards and charging equipment and vehicles and telematics and partners and sponsors and speakers and networking, and oh my gosh, it's just too good to be true. Anyway, that's what I'm proud of this week. The CV show. Happy days.
And may I just mention the Maypole? The CV show's happening on the 29th and 30th of April and the 1st of May. We are having the EV Café Maypole for the networking lunch on the 1st of May, where you will be able to dance around the Maypole and maybe even get some Morris dancing lessons from Paul and I, with bells round our ankles and white hankies out. Paul didn't know that yet, but that's what's happening. Sarah Kennel's had a nightmare. Her straighteners have broken. So if anybody can lend some, I probably could. Well, I would if I had them. Anyway, let's move on. LinkedIn user, good morning, EV Café team. My first time here. Thanks for the invite, Paul Kirby.
Let's see who it is.
Great bulletin so far. Loving your work. Welcome. Who is it?
It's Sarah Cox, and I will be talking to her later today. Possibly
Not
about
the
TV show amongst
The
other
Sarah
things.
Cox.
Well, no, I don't. I'm not. Well, she
Tis.
is, of course.
Tis.
No,
Yes.
she's the Sarah Cox. She might not be the same Sarah Cox as the one on the telly, but she is the Sarah Cox. Yes.
Great
Hello,
to see
Sarah.
Danita Brewer in the house. Listen, thank you
Anyway.
all so much. This shout out started out as a bit of fun and just to annoy Sam, but it's really important that we recognise each other, lift each other up and do the best we can to support each other through the travails of the week. Now then, hold on to your
Hopefully it does
hats.
still annoy Sam, but anyway.
Oh, it always. Do you know what? Anything that annoys Sam is I'm down for that. Hold on to your hats, folks, because the future of van delivery just got a serious upgrade. The first Verizon SV panel vans have landed in the UK, and they are not messing about. Think of it like the automotive equivalent of a surprise birthday party, except instead of a cake, you get cargo space. And Paul would love that. Verizon, part of the massive Geely family, are coming in hot pursuit, promising sales early next year and delivery soon after. And according to Tom Carney, the big cheese at Jameel Motors Verizon Auto, this arrival means they mean business. I love that phrase, they mean business, which is exactly what you want a van company to say. Now, Paul, Verizon, you
Yes.
know a little bit about this, don't
I
you?
know a little bit about them. There's about 30 of them, about 8 miles that way at Millbrook. So we've got an event on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday is focused on fleet. So if you are a fleet and you want to come, I might be able to squeeze you in. Maybe. You have to ask nicely. DM me afterwards. To come along and drive these vehicles for the very first time. Now, of course, we hear a lot about startup companies that that either are here and sometimes they're not. We might be talking about one today, but this is not a startup. This is Geely. Geely that own Volvo and Lotus and Polestar and all of those kind of people. So it is not a small concern. And Verizon have been producing these vehicles, and now they're going to be in right-hand drive and here. Great battery sizes, great cargo space, decent range, charging speeds, all of the things that we are hoping for, and of course towing as well, which is another thing that is really important for the sector. So there's a lot of really good stuff. You will see things live from me next week on that. I hope to see them maybe on Sunday, but certainly on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Oh, and if you're going to the the CV show thing, I'm there too as well. I'm busy next week.
Paul never stops. He's in vans 7 days a week, and he even, it's rumoured, sleeps in a van upside down. But there we are. Michael Barton makes a very good point. He says, will there be a mention of the new BP Pulse electric forecourt on the A4? So, just so you know, they've basically got a shop ripped out all of the petrol pumps and have put in charging. Utterly brilliant. I'm the first person in line to have a go at the big oil companies, but that on the A4, utterly brilliant. They've just said, you know what, petrol in that location, it's 2 a penny, 10 a penny, 100 a penny, whatever it is. However, we can put in electric charging and really do a job. Thought that was fabulous. Well done, BP. Right, now then, picture a scene, if you will. You're stuck in traffic, fumes billowing, stress level soaring. It's not a lot of fun, is it? Well, some of the UK's biggest companies, think BT, Openreach, even your friendly neighbourhood Mighty, have had enough. They're saying, government, we need a spark, a public spark, to encourage all of us to join the electric revolution and motivate business and consumers to join in now and create an entire motivated buyer market. They're pushing for a massive campaign to get everyone buzzing about electric vehicles, but let's face it, fleet drivers are leading the charge on EVs. But if no one else is buying in further down the chain, then we're all stuck in that traffic jam. So what's the plan? Well, these companies want a big, bold campaign to show everyone just how awesome EVs are. Good for your wallet, good for your lungs, and good for the planet. Basically, good for everything, except maybe the petrol station. Ah, this has got to be good, mate, hasn't it? We need this kind of big company collaboration to get the messages out there.
Absolutely, and I love it when the guys come together. It's very similar to what we've done with the Zero Emission Van Plan, of course, which it's been nominated for awards, don't you know?
Awards?
We're going next week. Another part of my week is to go to see if we've won said award. But it's great. Collaboration matters, and collaboration makes a difference. And when you think that the amount of vehicles that are represented by that group of companies, over 100,000 vehicles, that are on fleet today, represented by that. It's a lot of diesel being burnt by those companies that want to go to an electric world, and that makes a lot of sense. So I'm hopeful that their voice will be heard. I have to say, Gary Comerford mentioned about the BP launch, and he went to things and canopies, or did he mean canapes? Because he did mention food as well. So canopies or canapes? Which do you mean?
Of all of the people we know, Gary Comerford would know the difference between canopies and canapes, I'm sure.
I tried to spell it, to type it, but I don't know how to spell canapes.
Right, let's move on. Good to see that the head of BP Pulse told Gary at the opening that this is the first of many service stations which are going to transfer over to electric. The writing is on the BP wall. Yee! Anyway, right. Tesla. Let's talk Tesla. The world's largest electrical vehicle manufacturer has seen a significant decline in sales across key European markets, and this bucks a trend. Other electric vehicles still rising, still doing good things. Tesla bombing. In Germany, where Tesla operates its sole European factory, new vehicle registrations fell dramatically by 59.5% in January compared to the same month last year. This drop is particularly notable given that the overall German EV market experienced a robust growth of over 50% year on year, slashing Tesla's market share from 14% to just 4%. Similar trends were observed elsewhere in Europe. In France, Tesla sales plummeted by 63% in January, whilst Norway saw registrations decline by 38%. In the UK, Tesla experienced a more modest 8% decrease in registration. Industry analysis has offered several explanations for the slump, including that some German consumers might be delaying purchases in anticipation of the updated Model Y. However, others believe the more significant factor is a backlash over Elon Musk's increasingly visible political interventions. Right, let's have it. Come on, whack 'em in the chat. Paul, what do you think's going on?
Do you know, I think that the madness that is America at the moment, and I say that respectfully, because obviously 50% of America kind of voted for, or at least more than 50% of America voted for Donald Trump. And, I don't want to dismiss the opinions of 50% of the Americans, but I will say that also 30% believe that they've been abducted by aliens. So, it doesn't bode well. But I think Trump and Elon Musk combined seem to heighten the level of ridiculousness that is. And I worry that people are not taking Elon seriously. I think he's now got his eye off the ball. I don't think he's looking at his Tesla vehicles. I think he's off to space. There's only so many hours in a day, right? So I know there's a lot of probably great people in Tesla and all of that good stuff. And the updates will make a difference, because that new Model 3 has been a leap forward, and if they're going to do something similar on the Model Y, then you can see why people would wait, and that was the most popular vehicle. And now people think there's a new version on the horizon, it will make a difference. So having been, yes, I actually did once sell cars, the old model does drop before the new model comes in. Yeah, there you go, I confessed it out loud. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a really difficult one, isn't it? Because I applaud Elon Musk and what's happened at Tesla, and I know he bought Tesla and made it great, and it wasn't his idea, but he has done some quite remarkable things. But I do struggle when there's an EV brand which is going through clearly a difficult time. I've driven the Model 3 many times and absolutely love it. It's hard to see a manufacturer going through a difficult time, but by the same token, it is a bit of a own goal, in my opinion. Now then, I'm really interested to go back to the story about BP. Leo Pickford says, I think seeing more complete replacements of petrol and diesel forecourts with electric ones will be a good way to go. And a thought crossed my mind, Leo, as whether we might start to see fueling centres which provide electric vehicle, petrol, diesel, hydrogen, CNG, HVO. Is it possible? Could we start to see these super centres for fueling? Look out, the queen
John,
of
we've got to
EV.
interrupt you. Roving reporter, breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news and quick fire questions. Toby, yes, the lefts are electric. And also, I completely agree, the more fuel stations, which are gross and disgusting, that can go away and be replaced directly with refueling stations, and hopefully retaining the discounted coffee. Did you know you can always get wild bean discounts? So, hopefully we see these consumer perks to entice more people to go EV.
Come on, Saz, get off down that blue run and stay online.
I'm back to safety now. I went to the next resort. I'm happy with all this crazies, but yeah, I'm here. I'll go off camera though, because I'm sure it's very distracting.
No,
No,
we're
it's
delighted
great.
to have
Stay
you
there.
with us, and
Me
thank
too.
you for
Did
staying
I miss the
in one
Tesla
piece.
story? Did I miss the
Yeah,
Tesla
you did.
story? Oh,
But
I love
Give your opinion.
comment. So why
Just
do
to
you
say,
think,
I'm still. Go ahead, John.
why do you think Tesla sales have bombed when EV sales in the same countries are continuing to grow?
Because brand identity is everything, and having a decent spearhead that makes you feel good about spending money with them results in sales. And this is what's happened. He's become a complete weirdo overnight, which is such a shame, because Tesla is still to date my favorite EV that I've ever driven, let alone owned. So I'm dreading my lease co saying, got to give it back. I'll be like, oh no.
Speaking of complete weirdos, it's time for these three complete weirdos to be gone.
We love
So
you.
I'd love to thank Sarah for all that she's done, and Paul for all you've done today.
Especially.
If you've got any clean transport, PR or news stories you'd like us to cover, please send them to us at hello@evcafe.org. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me, and it is goodbye from them. This has been an EV Cafe production. We had a note from Sam to say that he was a bit busy doing a presentation or something for £2.50 and a half suck gobstopper, so he had to go and do that. Anyway, other sustainability news services are indeed available, but this is just funner!
Yodeling.
Careful,
first
Saz,
time-
you'll start an avalanche.
Do you know what? We're truly blessed to be partnered with the AA, Webfleet, Europcar, Iveco, Drax Electric Vehicles, Sperry, Schneider Electric, Stuart Signs, Dynamon, EV Blocks and AW Energy, because we wouldn't be able to do this without them, and we wouldn't want to do it without you.
No.
We're the EV Cafe, supporting the transition to clean transport. Stay safe, stay well, and be happy if you can. Until next Friday, bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Well done,
Hopefully
Sass.
Saz won't end
Oh,
up
that
under
was
a
so